Let's talk about transformation in an organization. How do you do it in an era of stagnation in a post-COVID world with various SMEs being impacted negatively and having to revamp their operations to stay afloat? How can transformation yield results that can be measured and built upon? Let me expand this conversation. Joining me to discuss this further is Nanke Essien. She's the lead consultant. Assisa is a consulting company focused on business improvement and HR transformation. Good morning, madam. Good to have you. Thank you so much. When you talk about business transformation, you have a model which you call a VPC. What does it really entail?
All right, so thank you very much for that. So the VPC basically stands for Vision, People, and Culture. And why this particular model came into fruition was because we realized that the world as we know it is beginning to transform, is beginning to change thanks to COVID. And we find that a lot of business owners, to be able to literally have sustainable business and have a large flow of high-performing employees, you literally need a flexible model that helps you to be able to deliver. And we've also discovered that based off of some of the work that we've done, that a lot of companies are building their businesses on very shaky foundations. And what does this really mean? It means that some of us are building businesses on visions that are blurry, visions that have been greatly impacted by economic positions, even notions and mindsets. And doing this ultimately leads to inconsistent results, which we are seeing that is a cry amongst entrepreneurs right now. So the VCP model, which basically stands for Vision, People, and Culture, helps to solve problems from the roots and not just topical issues, as we see a lot of entrepreneurs doing right now.
So vision, people, and culture, yeah. When we talk about transformation or responsibility for realistic vision for a company, who leads that and how do you get employees to buy into that and carry everyone along?
Brilliant. So the vision itself is led by the driver, the visionary, the dreamer, the owner of the business. But one thing that we must realize is that the vision is not just a statement on your website, neither is the vision just a string of words that you have on there, but there are several characteristics or several areas that you must be able to continuously improve that helps you achieve the vision. And the extent to which the members on your management team or people who are operating the business with you understand these areas or understand these parts that bring the vision into life, that's what literally leads to successful transformation in your organization. Now you might be asking, what are these areas that bring the vision to life? Part of it basically is understanding your core values as an organization. Also, you need to understand your core focus, your target market, your marketing segmentation, how you get into the market, how you treat your customers, and how you keep them. Now, we find that a lot of entrepreneurs will tell you things like, oh, we hire professionals to come in and we don't tell them what to do. That's a very wrong notion. And that's what gets people into trouble real fast, because you realize that your environment is different and the way that you operate is also different. So you need to show people, and it's important that everybody within your management system understands these areas that bring the vision to life, and that's what makes a real-life transformation.
So what's the difference between a realistic vision and sometimes what people just say, well, it just looks like a dream pipe?
So there are various things there are various indicators that show that this is a realistic vision. First of all, it's a burning problem that needs to be solved. It's a gap that you have realized that needs to be literally solved in an environment. It's something you have also experienced and you've seen that will cause long-term shifts and long-term changes in the market space or in the industry. Now, we found that people are literally building castles in the sky, like we are going to space right now. These are things that you dream about, but it takes time to gestate. So you also need to focus on market trends and things that are going on in the environment to know and certify that the vision that you have literally would work and would grow sustainably and give you the results that you desire.
But here I am putting, you're an HR consultant, and I'm putting a CV in front of you. Is that the best judgment of whether I'm fit and proper?
Okay, so the CV is literally the entry point, but I always say before you even put out a role that attracts a CV, you must understand that there's a business problem or a business case that needs to be solved. A lot of times they find that HR professionals just literally would go maybe on Google, search for information, come up and put something together. That necessarily doesn't help you get the right people to solve the problem that your organization is currently experiencing. So by the time you start from the problem statement and you use that as a basis to develop a job profile or a job description, then you have viable CVs coming. You can then use that to segment and decide who exactly you want within your environment or who exactly it is you want to work on that particular job. And then going forward, of course, you would then have the interviews. But what a lot of people do right now, or what a lot of us do, is that we also leverage what we call video interviewing even before the physical interview, so that you can get some time to tell us about your experiences and how it can help us solve the problems that our companies are
Okay, so the third part of your VPC is culture. And culture is always a problem.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So why? How do we resolve that? How do you develop and sustain a culture that make a business work beyond just incentivizing with good salaries or monetary?
Yes, I like that as well. But one thing you must realize is that the culture is literally bringing the vision down into operations. It's bringing the vision down into motion. So the culture is the behavior required to be able to get the vision working. So if you do not identify what sort of behaviors will help your vision to work, then you start having issues with your culture. So the moment you're able to identify the behaviors that are required, so for instance, if you want an environment that requires micromanaging, well, you should be able to state that as part of your culture, the behavior you require. If you want an environment where people are actually thinkers, problem solvers, people are accountable and responsible, you want to also, itemize that. But the brilliant part about sustaining culture is creating culture programs that help you to actually check, to track, and to identify that the culture is actually working. And then where you have to improve, based off of maybe the market changes or the requirements of the clients are changing or the direction of the business is changing as well, your culture program helps you to be able to continuously improve and then scale up on where you currently are.
Nanke Ese, lead consultant at CISA. Thank you so much. It's great having you here on the show.
Thank you very much.